In this video, I'm going to show you how to buy at smart levels in 3 simple steps using premium and discount, fair value gaps, and market structure shifts. Now, I can go into a big lecture about this, but I'm not going to do that because most of you don't care. You just want to know when to buy and when to sell, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. Now, when markets are trading, candlesticks typically trade back into the previous candles in order to offer fair value to investors and balance order books. Now, when they don't, they leave behind what's known as a fair value gap. These are very high probability levels to be retested. Now, we can identify these by the gap left between the first and the third candlestick. So as you can see here, you've got 1, 2, 3 candles. These wicks never touched, right? They leave behind what's known as a fair value gap. So you can see here, the market gets a strong push up, which breaks through the previous high. This is like what we're in now, right? And everyone's buying at these highs. Now, we don't want to enter at the highs, so instead we wait for a pullback into the fair value gap. This will give us a great place to look for a low time frame reversal. We trade into the fair value gap before a massive push to the upside for continuation of the move. And it's actually marked the bottom for Bitcoin in December 2022 on the weekly chart, which I'll show you in a second. So the market's had a strong push from the highs and left behind a fair value gap above. So you can identify the fair value gap by taking the distance between these 2 wicks, and we'll draw it out. We're anticipating the market to trade back into this fair value gap before continuing. So we wick into the fair value gap before continuing to the downside. As the candle pushes to the fair value gap on the daily, we can jump to our 5-minute chart to look for reversals. I'm about to show you how to do that. Now, look, markets don't move in straight lines. All right, crypto is about as straight of a line as it can get, but we still get pullbacks. All right, we move in what's known as swings or trends. Now, when people talk about buying the dip, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in 3 simple steps. Step 1, we're going to identify fair value gaps. We're going to use premium and discount, and then we're going to look for a market structure shift for confirmation. All right, 3 very simple steps. 1, 2, 3. Very, very easy. All right, right now, the market is up here. This is where we are. For some reason, everyone seems to want to buy up here, and then up here, and then up here, and whatever. Now, we know that the market pulls back. We know that happens. All right, we're not just going to go straight from here to 100 million%. All right. So what we're looking for is a pullback. Now, where do they pull back into? They pull back into fair value gaps before the market continues. And I'll show you this exact concept on Bitcoin over and over again. Look, we push up here. Where do we come back into? A fair value gap. This was at the lows. This is when we first broke out of the lows. Market pushes up, leave behind this fair value gap on this candle here. You see this big, strong candle here, the big gap between. See, same thing here. We come back, we trade into the fair value gap. This candle leaves a gap between this candle and this candle. Where do we trade back into? Fair value gap. We push up, big gap between this candle and this candle. Where do we trade into? Fair value gap. Now look at this. The whole way along, market pushes up into fair value gap, up into fair value gap. So look, we know the market works like this. All right, we know this is what happens. We push up, we come back into a fair value gap. So why do we want to buy at the highs? Why do we want to buy up here? We know this is how the market works. And I'll show you, look, see, for example, look at AVAX. Okay, now I put this trade out in the Discord for you guys. Also, in my last video, I spoke about others sweeping them lows and to look for a confirmation there. Obviously, we've gotten that. Big fair value gap here on the 4-hour. Look, fair value gap they've left behind. Looking to the right, what happened? We tapped into that fair value gap. This is where the market reverses from, fair value gaps. So look, we've got this big push up now. And everyone wants to buy up here. They want to buy at the top, or near the top of a 25% move, 25%. Think about your downside now. Right, we pull back in this fair value gap, you're down 10%, which makes a massive difference to profitability in the long run. So look, markets move like this into fair value gaps. Right now, here's where we're at. Okay, so we're waiting for a retracement. That's the thing to be doing because we're here. So all we need to do, we want to take our premium and discount. Now, you use your fib retracement for this. And it's going to tell you which fair value gaps to actually use. You can't just take any. You don't want to enter here You want to look at the right fair value gaps. Now, the way to do that is to take your fib retracement, put it on your chart. Now, yours will look very different, especially if you've never traded, it'll be rainbow colored. So double click, you just want to use 0, 1, and 0.5. You're going to use one color and remove the background, whatever's easiest for you to look at, but this is what I recommend. Very, very simple. We don't want to buy anything above the 50. We want to look for a fair value gap below the 50. So if we're going to push up here, and and here's where I think we're going to reverse from. You can look at this fair value gap as a very high probability entry. It's a great place to look for an entry. Now, if you want confirmation of that entry, very simple. So as we know, markets trend. They trend down like this. Now, eventually that trend needs to finish. So it needs to reverse. So the way that trend reverses is we go from making lower highs and lower lows to a higher high and a higher low. Now, as soon as they break back above this, we know, look, we've got the low here, high, higher low, higher high. The market is ready to turn. So look, we go into the 4-hour, market's trending down, lower highs, lower lows. Then we make a new high. Okay, so there's a previous high. We make a higher high, a higher low. Then we break out. Look, it's this simple. All right. So look, this is what we want to look for to enter. Just like this. Market pushes up, use your premium and discount, find a fair value gap. 1, 2, 3 steps. You don't need to dedicate your life to trading to be able to understand this and help you make much better decisions with your money. Now, a lot of you probably aren't going to want to hear this, but the difference in profit in this is insane. All right, so I've got a target on AVAX up at $88, say $80 to be conservative. So if you were buying this dip the whole way down, you're still probably going to make money out of it, which is good. If you know when to get out at the exact time, if you're not going to hold on to it and give everything back, which a lot of people do. So say you got in at $40. We get back up to $80, you've made 100%. Now, it doesn't look like too much of a difference between here and here. But if you got in at $22, when I first put it out, you've now made 250%. You have more than doubled your profit by getting in at the right time and knowing exactly what to look for. So, it really can make a massive difference. But yeah, guys, 3 steps. Premium and discount, fair value gap inside of that. And this will work on every single altcoin. Right? They're everywhere. Look, uni, same thing. Massive move to the upside. I get people ask me, should I buy uni? It's like, no, dude, it's just ran like 40% or something. Look, yeah, 50% you want to buy in now? No. Buy in. Fair value gap inside a discount. Look, there's your buyers. Wait for the market structure shift. Wait for them to come down. Boom, reverse. There's your buy. Low risk, high profit. It will absolutely change the game for you. You'll make so much more money just incorporating this strategy. All right, if you guys want me to send you the PDF for the FVG things, just hit me up on Facebook. Any questions, as always, let me know. If I've been making you money, like and subscribe. It helps me out. Take care, guys.